Start with breaking news this morning. A fourth suspect is now in custody following a terror attack in Barcelona. The most recent arrests just made it in the last 10 minutes. 14 people were killed when a truck plowed through a busy shopping and tourism area yesterday. More than 100 others were injured. Police were able to stop a second attempted attack in a resort town just south of Barcelona. So far, 5 attackers have been killed. They were wearing fake explosive vests during a shootout. ISIS is claiming responsibility for both of those attacks. Amy?
Breaking news right here at home, Rebecca. A woman manages to escape an attempted carjacking overnight. News Channel 5 Sophie Nielsen-Colding. She's at the Walmart. That's where the victim was able to get to call for help. And Sophie, we understand this woman was stopped when somebody put a gun to her.
Right, Amy. This Walmart parking lot on Edmondson Pike provided safety for that woman after that whole ordeal. It allowed her to call 911 and tell police what had happened. It happened just before 11:30 last night. She said that she was driving on Village Way, just about 2 miles away, when a black SUV went around her and stopped in front of her at the intersection at Amelie Drive. But the driver didn't go through the intersection. They just waited there at the stop sign. The driver, the victim, was stuck behind that SUV and another vehicle pulled up behind her. Then someone walked up to her driver's side holding a gun and told her to get out of the car. The woman instead hit the gas, speeding off to the Walmart, and then she said she heard 2 gunshots fired towards her vehicle. The good news in all of this is that the woman was not hurt, but police are looking for the other people involved this morning. Live in Nashville, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
Sophie, thank you. We have more breaking news. A man is now facing charges for a drive-by shooting that injured 1 man and barely missed a 2-year-old child. Police say Isaac Leverett fired several shots into a car near the J.C. Napier homes on August 1st. 3 people were in the car, including that toddler. One was hit in the back and rushed to the hospital. Leverett was picked out of a lineup and arrested. He's facing multiple charges, including attempted murder.
Well, this is just an unthinkable crime. This morning, a mother is behind bars, accused of killing her 11-month-old son. Police say Ashley Crowder brought her son to the ER, where doctors discovered he had severe internal injuries. That little boy did not survive. Crowder is now charged with first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and neglect.
A toddler is waking up without her mother and father after a murder-suicide in East Nashville. Detectives say Terry Moyer shot and killed Veronica Warren inside their home on Chickasaw Avenue yesterday and then took his own life when police arrived. A neighbor grabbed the couple's 3-year-old daughter just before the shooting. She was not hurt and is now in DCS custody. And 1 week after a 12-year-old girl was brutally murdered in her own home, dozens came together for a vigil to remember her and to pray for justice. Joana Artega was found beaten to death in her Goodlettsville home last Thursday, less than 2 hours after she texted her mother saying someone was at the door. Investigators think she may have known her attacker, but so far no suspects have been identified. They are desperate for tips. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stopper 615-74-CRIME.
In just a few hours, former Vanderbilt University football player Brandon Banks will learn his fate. A jury found Banks guilty of rape and sexual battery back in June for his part in the 2013 rape of a female student in a campus dorm room. 2 other defendants have already been convicted and sentenced. Banks faces a minimum of 15 years, a maximum of 25. We'll be in the courtroom this morning to hear his sentence. As soon as it's handed down, we'll send out an alert on the News Channel 5 app. Well, the coast-to-coast eclipse, final countdown, final stretch here, just 3 days away now.
And some of Tennessee and southern Kentucky's smallest towns, they're expecting really some of the biggest crowds in the nation. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy live from Sky 5 this morning to preview what Middle Tennessee will look like from high above come Monday, and it's going to be a lot more crowded than even today.
And also Kentucky, Amy, I know you're going to be in Hopkinsville, your hometown, and you're going to stay put. Lucky you, because they're expecting more than 100,000 people in Hopkinsville alone. And then we're talking about some of the smaller cities here around the mid-state as well, like White House, Tennessee, normally a town of about 12,000. They say they can see anywhere between 100,000 and 400,000. Those are the estimates we're getting this morning from the GreatAmericanEclipse.com. It says Tennessee in total could expect up to 1.4 million tourists visiting this area. Right now, we're not seeing much traffic of any flying over Interstate 24 this morning, very close to 440. But that's going to be a different story come Monday. Troopers are going to be working very closely with TDOT. They're going to be in a war room monitoring all the traffic cameras. It's all hands on deck. I know vacations have been canceled for a lot of police officers who originally had this weekend and Monday off. They will be working hard to keep the roadways safe and as clear as possible. And I know they're hoping you and everyone watching the Eclipse has a very safe Monday. Reporting live from Sky 5, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.